One of the most difficult and frightening experiences in life is to see your child in the hospital. Cincinnatian Ann Helfrich remembers her son Josh, who was hit by a car while riding his bike.
Josh was your normal 10-year-old boy. He loved to ride his bike and play with his friends, and he was a Cub Scout. He liked to avoid rules and worked his way around them. To Josh, there were very few rules and a lot of guidelines, and he lived his life that way. But he also had an amazing sense of compassion and caring. He was a child who his whole life looked out for other kids. Whether it was his twin sister, watching out to make sure she got everything she deserved, goody and bad, or making other kids laugh, or looking out for the child who was alone and didn't have anybody to play with, or was hurting in some way. He always tried to meet those needs. I recalled when Josh was in the hospital, he was already gone from us, but the waiting room was packed with 20 people, and it was hard to imagine another child being in that hospital and not having anyone by their side.
Some children don't get to experience the love and comfort of a parent who's constantly by their bedside. Fortunately for these young patients, Josh Cares is there to help. This small yet powerful charity, created in memory of Josh Helfrich, raises funds for Child Life Fellows at Cincinnati Children's. Their sole mission is to spend time with children who are alone and afraid in the hospital's critical care units.
We have, I would say, on average, 12 to 15 patients a day that may not have a parent or support person who can be with them. It's a child life specialist who is typically a new graduate, and they are getting a year's experience in critical care. We have excellent nursing staff and excellent support staff, but they do have a number of patients that they're responsible for, and so when you can have more dedicated time with a particular child, it really makes a tremendous difference.
They're not going to be sitting in their bed alone when their parents can't be here. We're here to spend that time with them and to fill it in any way that we can, whether it be they want to talk about their hospital experiences and really process some of the really frightening things that can go on when you're in the hospital. It can just be playing a game and making that time as normal as possible. And I think that it just gives them the hope that somebody's going to be with them. If their parents can't be, they're not going to be by themselves.
There are a multitude of reasons, and from a child who may be in a motor vehicle accident and with the whole family, and the parents may be hospitalized in another facility. We may have situations where parents are having to work to keep their health insurance. We also have families that have other children at home, and they don't have the resources to have additional child care.
And a lot of people feel like if it was their child, they'd definitely be here the whole time, which is great. But unfortunately, so many of our kids are long-term, or children who are in and out of the hospital so frequently that a parent can't take off a year of work or 2 years of work to be here. Some of them work several jobs. So it's really challenging. Distance is another thing, and definitely that plays into it. We've got parents who are from Dayton or from different areas around this kind of part of the country and just aren't able to be here a lot. So I think it helps knowing that someone is able to be here with their children.
It's always important with Josh Cares to remember that these families want to be here. The majority of them really do want to be here.
Coming into the hospital can be a scary thing. When you hear all the noises and all the people and all the equipment, their role really is to come and help alleviate any of the fears and anxieties that a child might have. And just having that presence of the Josh Cares Fellow there really alleviates a lot of fears for not only the child, but for the parent to know that there is somebody there at the bedside who's with their child, who's got the best needs at heart for their child, and is a very comforting person.
Teen patient Emily Ventura was paralyzed in an accident. Her single mother has other children and appreciates that Josh Cares Fellows are there with Emily when she can't be.
I have therapy from 8:45 to 4, and then after that I hang out with the fellows.
Emily's short-term goal is simple and something many of us take for granted.
Being off the vent all day and being able to go outside.
One of my children, she was 9 and she had, her transplant didn't work. They had to take it back out. She was just horribly sick and horribly in pain after multiple surgeries that literally I'd sit there for 3 hours a day just rubbing her back and rubbing her head, and that's all she wanted and that's all she needed. It definitely made a difference. You could see it in her eyes.
I have a little girl right now, and she's been here her whole life. She's 4 months old now, and it's just been an amazing experience to watch her grow and be a part of that. I've been able to make a scrapbook for her parents and keep them in touch with everything that she's doing, how she's growing day by day, how her day is going.
We had one day where it had snowed perfectly outside, and I had 2 children who were both our patients that we followed, but also very close to each other. One of whom who is terminal and won't be here much longer, and we were able to get them out into the snow and go play, which was for the terminal one, I think his probably last time he got to play in snow, so that day is just one day that really sticks out on my mind.
I have not heard of a hospital that has a Josh Fellows program. While we have one of the largest child life organizations in the United States in a hospital, it's unique for us even to have the Josh Fellows program, so I think it's wonderful that we have it started here, and hopefully we can go ahead and spread it across the United States into various other hospitals along the way.
When you walk in a room and they can sense you and that you're there for comfort and for support, you're not there to stick them with a needle or to harm them in any way, you're a safe person that they can trust.
You can help care for children who are alone in the hospital by supporting Josh Cares. Today there are 3 Child Life Fellows who are funded by the Josh Cares program. While they help comfort many children, it still isn't nearly enough. You can be part of a solution by giving from your heart. You can give the gift of time by sponsoring a fellow for a day, a week, or even an entire year. Please visit our website at joshcares.org to find out how you can help.
No child should have to face scary things without someone there just to hold their hand, because every life is so precious. So my prayer is that the children that are touched by Josh Cares, that they know that they were loved and they were cared for.
Josh Cares, being there to care.